doing their
Gonna fart again.
I wasn't even thinking about him.
Into the microphone.
And what of the rebels?
To the microphone.
You guys want this?
Do it.
You should be halfway to meet him this by now.
Was that real?
That
was amazing.
This man doesn't have a nice bone in his body. No sportsmanship.
Oh shit! He shake his hand. Wait, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
Is this fucking? Is this NFL?
This is like their main events. Nothing else deserved more than a 4-second trailer, but this one, they're gonna steal the stage and play a live match for
This is-
a mobile game.
This is fucking awesome. They have like a heartbeat monitor up there, I think. They need it. The adrenaline's surely gonna be pumping.
And what I can say about us is that we are always trying to learn
How to
and listen
skateboard. Skate
and
forward,
strive
baby.
to be better.
Play to
Millions of you out
Remember
there
when their slogan was
participated
play
in
to
9
live?
in-game challenges.
Oh, yeah.
games, millions of hours
I
in
guess they
support
changed
of
that
Play to
one in a
Give.
hurry.
And to celebrate
I can't
that,
imagine
we
why. It was
contributed
bulletproof.
A total of 1 million.
The gods
Here it
vanished
is.
Skate 4.
Yay.
and left our world in chaos, creating,
Hell,
We skateboarded too hard.
destroying
broke. The half pipes
the anthem.
set
All
ablaze.
that remains.
Kick flipped into another world.
There's a storm coming.
Tony Hawk betrayed us.
These walls can't protect us forever.
Still no gameplay here.
Yeah.
No such thing in Anthem. They haven't developed that part.
You know, what is the evolution of a Bioware
What is,
game?
Jesus, what
And
the
we
fuck is
wanted
that
to
kind of an
create a
operating
brand new
room?
world
Oh
for
my
the
god,
server.
it's like that room in the
Story
Matrix
and
Reloaded
character.
with the
We
architect.
also wanted to do something that was,
Where you
know, more
confront
of a
Neo
dynamic
with all
and
those
living world, a game
screens.
that would change
Do you see
every
all the
time you came
games and
back
all the
played it.
outcomes of the
We also
games?
wanted to do something
You
where
have to make a
you know,
choice,
you-
Neo.
So that was really the initial vision
Not
of the
even
game.
logged
Not
in.
an MMO, not
Yeah, the
a
computers were all
on the side, but something new and different. And I think the team is really captured
An
that.
innovative strategy. We never turn on the computers to make our games.
The thing that's really
What is that, a
interesting about this,
subwoofer?
it's unique for
That's what that music was playing through
is
before.
a living shared
This
world.
looks so
whether
stupid.
there's Weather or
It looks like a
nighttime,
butthole that's
Yeah,
about
it
ready to
does.
let go of
Yeah,
cargo.
it looks like a
Everyone's
farting
playing
asshole in slow-mo.
And they're just looping it again.
Can you speak to
Bottles,
what it's like
three
to create
triangles.
a new world like Anthem from the beginning?
Well, what's really exciting.
Well, what inspired
for
me
us,
is I played Destiny and I
not
thought,
just the
well, I might
writers,
as well
but
do
all
that.
of-
This game has 4
to do
classes,
is
I assume. That's what
we
this
built the
means.
suits to look like they're built from the materials of the world, so they each have their own unique abilities. So let's
Built
take
from
a
the
look
materials of the
at,
world. You mean
the
metal?
Ranger now. The Ranger is
What
a
the
more
fuck else does it
general
look
idea.
like? What,
I-
coral?
To,
I feel like we're watching
do
like a
lot of
TED
different
talk
things,
or something on their design
use
choices.
Seashells?
designed for
Oh, we show a
pretty
little
sunken in.
gameplay.
Did I just hear the G word?
All right, so Kathleen, you
Gangbang.
gonna set this up for us?
I will.
find out
So,
what happened.
They just said they're gonna show a little
fingerprints have
gameplay,
decided
and now
to
Kathleen's
do
shutting that shit
called
down.
Scarlet
No, we're not doing that.
We're not ready yet. This game is still 2 years out.
You gotta take that
This is just an idea.
Here's
So
more-
You start
here's
being the
more
Strider,
concept
which
art.
Is like a giant walker.
Would
and
you
it's
guys
your
like to see my
forward base
sketchbook of the game?
You have a config.
They said these bastards made some kind of ass.
No, this is in-game voices.
Yeah, this isn't the players yet.
No, this is obviously 2 people on Discord.
See you guys there.
All right,
Give it
be
up
there.
for Casey Hudson, everybody.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks for ruining Mass Effect.
And now announcing Crackdown 3, we canceled it. We just don't want any exclusives.
Zoo Tycoon 4?
Turok?
Dude, I don't think they'd open with Turok. No one's open up to...
I'd piss myself.
It's not. I will eat a Carolina Reaper if it's Turok.
Yep, there he is.
There!
That was quick.
Turok! I hope it's a complete departure from Life is Strange and it's a third-person shooter. It's Crackdown 3.
Yeah, it's Terry Crews.
They're about to announce it's been delayed 6 years. No, Phil Spencer. Go away. Go away.
Hi, I stuck into the crowd. It's
Why
so
did he just
awkward.
appear like an amnesia monster?
Mystery,
awkward.
the ruins above ground.
I wonder how long he was standing there in the darkness. He's been there since the first
Yeah.
trailer.
Range.
Oh. Ew. Boo. Boo.
This is already out, is it not?
Yeah,
it's
been out in
it's
flop.
DLC. Yeah,
I'm gonna get a drink while this is boring us.
it's the best time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a piss break as well.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Forza Horizon 4 features dynamic seasons in a shared
Dynamic
open world.
seasons.
It has day and night, is what you're saying.
Who gives a fuck about dynamic seasons? Who's sitting there like, I'm waiting till winter to do this race?
You'll be able to go through winter, summer, and fall all in a single race. And over here's Tom Howard, who has somehow hacked the Xbox to play Skyrim.
Let's join Rebecca.
Are they just racing each other right now?
Yeah,
It's like
it's
100-person
I
race.
guess. No, they're looking at a wallpaper.
The sun is out. The sky is blue. The game
E3 Bill.
Good old E3 Bill.
My favorite Marvel Avenger.
Oh, they're parking. It's dynamic parking.
Fucking
Oh my god, he stole Phil Spencer's jacket, shirt.
Oh, yeah,
He must have shown up naked. And
They
Phil
must
gave
have
him
all
his
color
shirt.
coordinated.
Okay, the music is shit. I'm sorry.
You're
It's
not
just that
supposed to
Microsoft, they nailed everything else perfectly. The music right now is...
You're
feels
not
a lot
supposed
of
to take
place now.
anything as seriously in just
Microsoft doesn't choose the music either.
It's
Yeah.
Phil Spencer on the DJing booth.
Yeah.
Oh, this series has been dead for
Why?
12 years now.
Why?
What?
What?
Why?
Oh.
Why?
Fuck.
A few years ago, we had no idea what to do with the Gears of War franchise, and I'm proud to announce we sold it.
Gears Pop.
Okay, are they having fun or are they on a mission? I can't tell.
The parasailing.
Obviously.
Oh no, he's being hacked!
Halo!
Oh no!
Oh, god damn it,
I'm
Todd.
proud to announce Xbox Games.
Skyrim.
You gotta have
Watch Dogs
password.
2. Watch
Memory.
Dogs 2, probably.
Memory
Watch Dogs 2's already
overflow.
out.
Shush.
I think it's a new game, honestly.
Watch
Yeah,
Dogs
sky
3.
rate of violence and more people living below
Ready Player One, the game.
anywhere else.
Oh, it's Cyberpunk!
Oh, this is all!
This is Cyberpunk!
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
Holy
Wow,
shit!
that's cool. That was very
I am shocked. I was fully prepared to just make fun of Microsoft the whole time. When they announced like Netflix 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Good job for all those games. Good job for just buying GitHub.
Yes, Mr. Howard. Skyrim is now available on toasters.
Playing, but
Shut up,
you
let
saw in
Todd
our
out of the
intro video,
cage.
it's not just
Yeah,
the
hurry up.
developers
Show me,
who want that
show me what I'm gonna
as a part
hate.
of the team.
Unleash
That's
the
what our games
Howard.
life, and that extends all of these-
He's got like the
we
Hannibal
create
Lecter
the
suit
worlds,
on him.
but
He's got like a
create your own
dog muzzle on his
adventures,
face and
stories,
shit.
and
Keep him contained. He might release
experiences.
Skyrim on phones.
Games that drive us every day.
If we don't stop him, it's coming to the smart shoes. Andrew WK is fucking killing it out here, but the crowd does not give a
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, I think Andrew WK is an incredibly talented musician. This welcome is not worthy of him.
No, absolutely not.
Oh my god, it's me and Charlie.
Song for Rage 2.
Oh, yikes.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim Willits and I am the studio director at
My name is Magnus.
Oh, what fucking What a name.
Jesus Christ.
My name is 5'2".
We're here to say
What
that
cave did he
Rage
thaw out of?
is back.
Magnus like
Now we
Bethesda.
had a
What are they doing?
Does he speak?
Being Bethesda. Being Bethesda.
Hey, English.
Yeah.
So Rage 2 transports
It looks like a
players
little boy
into
with
a
his-
dystopian future,
with his father or
devoid of
something.
society, law, and order. Now, you play
I'm
as
taking
Walker,
taking my
the
child
last
Magnus out for a walk.
ranger.
Even the mic is above the
Now,
guy's head.
You know, I can talk all night about our guns.
Is Magnus
the
normal
powers
size?
You'll use, the vehicle combat,
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
you
I'm
know,
wondering.
Magnus
the
is actually
crazy,
5'7".
open world. But I
The other
know
guy is
that you
very
are
tiny.
here to see.
Andrew WK.
I
sitting
can drive a tree?
I can't wait to ride the stop sign.
It's a really bad slogan. If you see it, you can drive it.
As long as it has wheels.
Yeah,
And
they
looks like
should
a car.
specify.
Does he keep on straight to the audience?
Every time, it's literally please applaud.
I fucking love that.
Every
These great
time.
games possible. Applause, baby! Woo! I'm taking the Undertaker down.
So
That's SummerSlam.
every day, but
He's got a big fucking smile.
creative director on Doom Eternal. Just want to give him a cuddle.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks sweet.
he looks comfy. Yeah!
Oh,
smile,
that's
Diego.
that
You
smile.
should be proud. Be
The
proud
one
of
with
your
his smile.
game.
Awesome
Yeah.
new sequel to Doom.
I like how they take
You
the
want
most
even
like
more
visceral
badass
game and put
demons.
the sweetest boy on it.
There are twice as many in this game.
And now to rep Doom Eternal, a small puppy.
You want to see hell on earth?
Yeah,
Well,
you go.
We just teased it.
Oh,
But what we're most excited about is to show you
you
something
gotta pay me
man's
for it.
adorable.
you might not be expecting.
That's right, including a ton of
This man's a
features that we'll have
cutie.
to save for later.
Do you want to see Doom? I just showed it to you. That's like in SpongeBob, where he's like, "You want to see me run to the mountain?
You want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
We'd love for you to join us live in
This man's a
Dallas,
teddy
or,
bear.
of course, you
I
can
love
tune in
Hugo.
online to catch all
He's
the fun.
great.
Hugo's
But
my
until then,
favorite
we wanna
announcement.
thank everyone.
We've been so inspired by your passion and enthusiasm.
And our lack
As a
of
way
profit,
showing our
it's that-
appreciation, we are rolling
Half
out
the
a
studio
huge
looks laid
free
off.
update for free
Yeah.
tonight.
We'd like to announce we're the only two people left on the development team.
Please help us.
We need your help on Kickstarter.
There's gonna be a pop-up. Donate to our GoFundMe now. Oh, I thought he was gonna put it on her titty.
Yeah. What if funny
Sexual
joke
harassment.
is
Nobody tries to.
He just starts squeezing her boob with the notepad.
when start slapping her back and forth.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Welcome my very good friend, Mr. Todd Howard.
Oh, here he is, Todd.
Oh, Charlie, hurry up!
He's missing out on
Charlie-
Todd. Oh,
Charlie, pick the
he's
worst.
Jesus.
Oh,
He's Jesus.
oh, God, look at
Look
him.
at that smile.
Look at the man. Look at him.
The bad boy of gaming.
Oh. The next 30 minutes will be an uninterrupted session of Todd asking you to buy Skyrim.
Blades is coming.
You have to tap the screen
this
faster
fall
and you win.
for free.
Well, then why do you need to pre-order it if it's free? Yes,
An IP?
announce something new.
IP.
And tell you what we have coming beyond this
Oh,
year.
thank
Yes.
God, finally.
In the future.
Yes, Starfield. I bet it's Starfield.
We have also
We have
been
nothing.
working on a brand new
We're out of ideas.
next generation. Starfield is a game that we have spent years thinking about and working on.
And we're here to announce it's canceled.
Something we feel uniquely positioned to pull off.
Better luck next
and that we're
time.
incredibly
I'm happy to
excited
say
about.
we gave up on it. We're sticking with Elder Scrolls, you fucking nerds.
We're
Todd Howard
also building
Outsky.
toward the game after that.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with gaming?
Just Dance. Wow, cool, dude.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think it's the reveal for Just Dance.
Well, starting off with the best
Which-
possible note.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's Just Dance.
It's actually Assassin's Creed.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. He's wearing the same jacket from the last conferences.
Oh shit, yeah.
7 months later,
Is that just a,
One wardrobe team in the back dressing everybody, but on a budget?
I guess so. That is the exact same shirt as Phil Spencer and Matt.
Why are you whispering? They're on another ship.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna think it's just a ghost ship sailing by itself.
This island provides perfect cover for a surprise attack.
Can we sneak by?
Will they see us?
You on the horizon. Over here? Over there? What? Did I hear somebody whisper? Ah, there's the ship.
He couldn't hear anyone, so he's just fishing around. I see a ship, but there might not be anyone on it. I'm not hearing talking.
Ramming speed.
Divert all power to the shields up front.
The final shot is going to be of some mythical beast. Nope, never mind.
Nope.
Nothing. Great.
You're left with your dick in your hand.
I'm falling asleep.
Respective.
Everyone's just screaming
Though we're known for our
Frodo.
film content, we're also avid gamers.
Mr. Frodo, we have to get back to the Shire. No video games there.
And my name is Benoit
and forge your alliance.
I just want the toys,
Upgrade
Todd
your
Howard.
pilots, starships, and gear. And unleash devastating
wish Todd
combos
Howard
to
would
save
come
our
out.
class for the relentless
Yeah, what if Todd
of
Howard's
the
sitting in the
Bungie?
back and noticing them bombing and just going,
Mission
maybe I should
will
go
not
out there.
be easy.
Talk about Fallout 76.
Maybe I should go out there and
And
say
our
something. I
heroes
think I got some
will
more
need
Fallout in
all
me.
the help they can get.
We need Lego bricks, stat.
Jesus Christ, this man built a Death Star.
It cost him $2,000.
Star Fox? What? I was right?
installing.
We're actually announcing Star Fox.
Yeah.
Starlink was just a cover name. Forget that shit.
This is our new original character, Fox in Space. Best game ever made.
Whoa! He was there all along!
My conference is tomorrow, but I came here to laugh.
These guys are good jokes. They make bad games.
And then they're like, how do you feel about Star Fox in the game? And he's like, you were serious? What? I thought you were kidding.
That's what I signed.
I was drunk. We were hanging out.
Look how happy he is.
Tricked me.
Are you guys enjoying this comedy show too?
What a sweet
He's
old
not
man.
happy. That's disgrace right there.
Oh, he's so happy. Look at
He
him.
just dumps him on the ground. Yeah.
Just a fox's decapitated head.
He's like, I can put it with the others, and he's just got a mountain of shitty trophies people have given him for games and licensing.
Spikes it like a football on the ground.
This will go next to my 50 game awards.
Don't go back there. They're going to assassinate you and steal more of your ideas.
Oh, he's so good.
Force his hand to keep signing over rights for Nintendo.
Such a pure man.
Don't do it.
Up next, Sam Saran in Sea of Thieves. God, I'm gonna fart again.
I wasn't even thinking about you.
Into the microphone.
And what of the rebel?
To the microphone.
You guys want this?
Do it.
You should be halfway to Mykonos by now.
Was that real? That was amazing.
Are you sure that was wise?
Squeeze that one out.
Kaya, how did you so accurately summarize Assassin's Creed?
Tiny and insignificant at the beginning, but they can become devastating.
The preparation.
Stinker.
Time they run their course.
I hope your microphone smells like shit now.
Someone clip that.
I fucking hear you move your chair back so you can bend over and get like the proper angle of ass smoke.
You bet your ass. This is why I paid for a $400 mic.
With every goddamn penny.
No, you have to talk into it.
And that's our opinion on Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, that about sums up Assassin's Creed in a nutshell, really. Oj 18 really liked it. He immediately subbed.
That's what he's here for.
It just kept going. It's like it was giving a best man speech.
Yeah.
And don't forget the bounty.
Like how they're walking through the streets of Greece, yelling, loudly talking about assassinating people.
Thanks, Varnavas.
He wants me to kill Heraclides, huh?
But I don't know if that's a good idea with my secret assassin organization.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, let's run away from combat. That'll be fun.
Why would you? Yeah, are you kidding? This is the worst assassin ever. Ah, confrontation. I'm going home.
They overheard me somehow. Time to run.
She left the old man there as well. The old man
fuck
that's that's blind in one eye. No depth perception.
Left a partially blind man to fend for himself. Wow, this is like a cult meeting.
Yeah, really. It's a very strange venue for this.
Yeah.
Is this a wedding?
That's right, Norman.
Yeah, it's weird.
Norman Reedus and Kojima finally tying their vows.
The three
I came for the man in the straw hat playing the flute.
I don't even know who this girl is, but I feel emotionally attached. It's like, no, don't do this, Sashiko.
So is he just an urban hitchhiker, YouTuber? Exploring malls?
He's like a delivery boy or something, I don't know. He delivers the newspaper in this world.
Yeah. He's just the mailman.
News.
His job is very hard.
Everything is still fucked.
Looks like Neo.
Oh, I'd love if it was Neo.
Charlie, it's Neo.
I'm so excited.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, that's Mr. Negative superpower. Kick them while they're down.
And look dope doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's a fine stopping point. I'm not gonna watch all that gameplay and shit.
Right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye, everyone.
Take it easy.
Sexy as Stallone and as funny as Bill Murray. I asked for a
That's so old-fashioned. And as suave as Humphrey Bogart.
And I know how to speak Ewok now from the sheet music.
Not even George Lucas knows how to do that. He doesn't even know who Ewoks are anymore.
Have you read the comics?
No, but the movie was awful, so I didn't.
That's that same asshole that insulted our girl Brittany.
Douchey. Charities. I also used to do a lot of philanthropy work.
He seems like a nice enough guy. Better than the other 3 douchebags who asked if she was just like a hooker, and one of them just said she sucks. So, that's an improvement. Yeah, baby!
Thank you for running con, or...
I'm going to the 10-year anniversary fire.
Do you like want a doggy style in the bathroom portables?
Yeah.
Maybe...
Porta potties?
Yeah, let's go to line up. Yeah. Have you ever seen Galaxina?
Have you ever seen a vagina with no hair on it?
Sci-fi movie. If we didn't do speed dating, would you come up to me ever and speak to me?
Fuck yeah, I would.
At Comic-Con, I probably would have come up for like a picture.
Oh, yikes.
But that probably would have been it. Normally,
Why would you
when I
say
talk
that?
to women, oh my god, that is awesome.
Oh my god, it's Katy Perry.
Are you?
I am a super EMT, and this is going to be awesome.
That's cute as shit, man. What the fuck? Anthony's wooing me over. I don't know why I'm calling him Anthony. It's Anthony.
On both sides, this is actually...
Imagine getting CPR from him. He's just counting off memes. All your base. Belong us. Big. Chungus. Getting fucking CPR from a Redditor.
Taekwondo, which I find someone to actually love me as well as my fandom,
Well,
which I can share with them.
Don't go to
And then
Geek
we
Love
can just
speed
be
dating
one
looking
big
for
happy
love.
family.
Just look to slam some
very
ham.
passionate about
What?
sci-fi.
You're going in with
Obviously,
way too
because
high
I
of
like
expectations,
each and every
Anthony.
one on my bed. Spice up my
To be honest,
dating life.
the
This
host
is so
here.
not what I'm used to.
Where is he?
Welcome to Sci-Fi Speed Dating. You're all gonna
This
sit down in
guy,
chairs
Gabe
here.
Newell, stand-up comedian Gabe Newell, is actually not bad.
Awesome.
See, I love this guy. It's like Chris Farley fucked Gabe Newell, and then gave birth to a 40-year-old man again.
I actually saved someone's life and I got an award for it.
Oh! You know, I've saved over 1,000 people's lives.
took it mainly because I wanted to use it to defibrillate.
I can save you from your virginity.
Who is a huge fan of Lord of the Rings like I am.
Well, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. She just said she knows what Lord of the Rings is. She lives, breathes, and sleeps Lord of the Rings like me. With a Lord of the Rings stamped condom.
We're like, wait, hurry girls, hurry. 30 seconds to set
Come
the
on.
perfect match.
Sit in front of my boy.
25 seconds.
Sit in front of Anthony. Oh, she's just going home.
Gentlemen, if there's not
Well,
somebody sitting in front of you,
that's some
again, I
fucking garbage
apologize.
right
It doesn't
there.
mean it's over, 'cause in front of them, please step out now. I appreciate it. I hope you had fun.
The vast majority of the dudes there had no one in front of them. In fact, I only count 3 guys with a girl in front of them.
Even if it was just
That's
for that few
rigged.
minutes.
That is bullshit.
And maybe he just needs more than 3 minutes. I know I do.
You see, there's something oddly endearing about that guy. He's built like a fucking bowling ball, but he's got such charisma. I don't understand why Geek Love has people that come in saying, like, I want not only a wife, but a goddess. I'd like to marry a literal Amazon, or an alien, perhaps. I won't settle for just getting laid. So is it a Homestuck reference, or does she just like Homestuck? I don't know fuck all about Homestuck other than the fandom being absolute degenerates back in the day.
And one day he actually went through my closet and found my costumes and right there on the spot broke up with me and left my house like 2 seconds later.
What?
So
It's not even like a weird hobby. That's like super normie shit. Oh, is that her boyfriend?
I am
Because maybe, yeah, he's a little old. He wouldn't get it.
Any lady you choose, it doesn't matter. You'll have to talk to all of them.
Phantom of the Opera.
Ask, who are you supposed to be?
That was rude.
I don't like him. He scares me a little bit. I want
Yeah, that's a scary guy.
maybe that would be really
Yep,
cool.
that's a man that you'd read about in the paper with 15 terabytes of child porn. Well, that guy's that's just a normal man who got caught off guard with C. Hitler. Kayla, I just ripped hard ass. I don't know if it's the Homestuck thing just bringing up bad memories in my colon or something, but I just ripped some fat ass.
We're colliding forces on the internet.
Oh. Warring factions, Brony vs. Homestuck.
And I don't quite understand the Homestuck. I'm Pony. I got a little tattoo on my
Gaben, get in there and separate them. It's gonna be a fist fight.
the red and white shirt. He's from the same series.
Oh, nice. Is that a K-pop star?
Who you liked on your scorecards, right? No. Okay, whoever said no, leave. Who's really nervous? Raise your hand and be honest with me. Okay, cool. You got nothing to be worried about. You're gonna find the papers with the numbers on it of the people you like.
I didn't expect
on the papers
that.
of the people that you liked, you will write.
You see,
your
Gabe
first
In
name
fucking
and
kills
either
it.
your cell phone
Valve doesn't make shit anymore, but goddammit, Gabe In's asexual clone here is fucking slaying at the Geek Love Comedy Night. God, that guy's guarding the exit. Have you seen my Reddit karma?
I did, but they didn't write me.
That was a big asshole. Pardon my sweaty grease, I just got back after playing pickup basketball. I was an unstoppable force of nature on the court, a three-point machine, and also my drives were second to none. I was a wheelin' and dealin', squirtin' and squealin' animal out there. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I just wanted to explain why it looks like I just took a bath in a vat of cooking oil. What I want to talk about today is E3, and even more than that, gaming conferences in general. E3 used to be the biggest name in gaming that everyone would look forward to every year. It was a huge convention that'd be held where they'd show the latest and greatest from the industry, trailers, they'd even have playable demos and everything out, all these booths set up where you get to meet people in the industry, and just a really big celebration of things, and some unforgettable moments have happened at E3, some huge announcements, and of course, who could forget the iconic time that Ubisoft brought out Mr. Coffee, who used to do this. So, E3 is something that used to be beloved, but now is kind of just this fossil. Most gaming studios just hold their own conferences now where they play their trailers. You have like the State of Play for Sony, Nintendo Direct, where they talk to you like you're actually lobotomized, but they always get out all the information they want to. So it's kind of just obsolete to have E3 in the modern landscape. And even still, there is Jeff Keighley who hosts something very similar. He hosts multiple productions that are kind of similar to E3, like the Summer Games Fest, where he gets a big bunch of developers together to, you know, do world premiere trailers and stuff. And he kind of dances on the grave of E3. He has stepped in as like the savior of these kind of gaming conferences. He streams them all and he crushes it. But E3 itself just can't find its footing anymore. Most people just don't care. It was supposed to be coming back around this year for the first time since 2019, but a few hours ago they announced they're going to be canceling it yet again. And the reason for its cancellation isn't surprising, but it is pretty sad to read. They're canceling it because they said there's just not enough interest in it. And that's super true, but man, reading that it feels bad. Because this used to be a titan. E3, I mean, even non-gamers had heard what E3 was and probably even watched it still. It used to be so big. And obviously it went away for a while because of COVID. They couldn't have these big convention spaces to be holding E3, so that was the reason why it was gone for a couple of years. But, you know, since then, they just don't have the interest. And since there's not interest there, it makes it pretty unreasonable to try and do it anyway. That just feels even more pathetic if they were to do it and no one really cared or showed up or watched it. So I do understand it, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because where did it all go wrong for gaming conferences? It's a question that nobody is asking because we all know the answer to it. The reason gaming conferences have kind of died out is because there's just no reason for them to exist anymore. Everyone has unlimited access to information at all times, at every hour of every day. And it's actually probably just more beneficial to just drop the trailer yourself or do it at like your main developer conferences that they all now do, like, you know, Sony with the State of Play again, for example. There's just no reason to wait for E3 to do the grand reveals because you don't really stand to gain too much from it. Back in the day you did because that was the event that everyone would watch. You couldn't really just stealth drop your trailer on, you know, E-Bombs World or anything. You know, no one would fucking see it. So you'd wait for E3 to roll around to get people hyped, get people interested, and reveal your projects. But now, you just don't need to. It's unnecessary. It's redundant. In the emails, they said that the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry, but they remain committed to the advocacy work, but it doesn't mention that they're going to undertake the show again in the future. So they don't make a mention like, all right, this year was a bit of a stinker that kind of flopped, but next year, 2024, E3's coming back with a vengeance. They didn't say anything about attempting again in the future, so maybe this really is the end of them trying E3. Who really knows? But again, E3 has kind of become like YouTube Rewind. no one really cared about it and just kind of fizzled out. In fact, YouTube Rewind went out real sad as like the most disliked video on the entire platform, and then they canceled it then. But it was something that was already kind of like on its way out in terms of public interest anyway. They continue in the email saying that it was a difficult decision because of all the effort that them and their partners put toward making the event happen, but they had to do what was right for the industry and what was right for E3. So they said, we appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle that they couldn't overcome. And for those that did commit to E3, we're sorry we can't put on any showcase you deserve and that you've come to expect from ReedPop's event expertise. So again, just shedding more light on it. They didn't have the interest, and as well as a couple other obstacles, it just didn't seem worth it for them, and I think they made the right decision canceling it. I probably would have still watched it regardless just because of the nostalgia. It has been a long time since it's come back around, and I would have liked to see, you know, if they brought out the big guns. You know, they announced fucking GTA 7, right? Like, they go crazy. Maybe they finally show something from the new Elder Scrolls. But apparently that was not going to be the case. They also didn't have playable demos at the convention center ready or anything, so it looked like it probably would have just been a weak event if they did try. It probably was the right call not to. And I think the obvious big reason why this was never really going to work out well this year for them is because when E3 was announced, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation all said, nope, we're not going. So taking the wind out of their sails immediately, and then Ubisoft apparently also said they wouldn't be going either. So they already just didn't have huge players in the industry going, so the lineup wasn't going to be strong regardless, which is just, you know, that's rough. You can't really make that work. Like I said, it really is pretty sad that no one gives a fuck about E3 anymore, because I remember how cherished the event used to be and the prestige that it used to have. So it is, you know, just a little upsetting to see where it's ended up, but it's for the best. It really is. The times have changed a lot. It just doesn't offer anything special anymore. There's no real reason for them to keep trying. Jeff Keighley's kind of put the stranglehold on big gaming conferences outside of the developers. So it's just a tough space to compete in now. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I know a lot of people watching this probably also used to love watching E3. So I wanted to give you the latest from, you know, the fallen behemoth here. And that's really about it. So yeah. It has been a rough month for Bungie. They are struggling right now, looking like me trying to reach the top shelf in my pantry. I just made a video covering the lawsuit that they are getting spanked in. That's a little exaggeratory, but it is a very messy lawsuit where they're being accused of stealing for their Red War campaign as well as Curse of Osiris, and they can't actually fight back against those claims because they vaulted that content and no longer can access it themselves. It is just banished to the Shadow Realm. They can't access it, so instead they've been relying on YouTubers' videos and lore breakdown as evidence to prove they didn't steal from this other writer's work. But the judge biblically smacked that down, saying that it will not be accepted. So they're not accepting the YouTube videos, and Bungie themselves can't access the content. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do about that lawsuit right now, all because they can't stop vaulting content. They're addicted to it. And now today, it has just come out that they have plagiarized another artist's work for Marathon. And it's a lot. And it's also not just claims of plagiarism, and it's not just baseless accusations all around like something really small or trivial that you kind of have to like squint your eyes at and be like, oh, I can kind of see a similarity. It's not like they just stole like, you know, a big Chungus shape from somebody without crediting the artist. They stole so much directly from an artist named Anti-Real, and they have also now come forward, the Marathon dev team have come forward and said that, yeah, it is indeed confirmed they did steal some of that art, but they're downplaying how much of it was plagiarized and kind of pushing the blame on a former employee. So we're going to go through this together because I think it's a lot bigger than they are making it seem. So this was the post that just blew up last night. The Marathon Alpha released recently and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. The side-by-sides that she provides are damning. So on the right you can see her poster, and on the left you can see the Marathon Alpha. You can see Aleph is lifted directly from her poster and just copied multiple times in the Marathon Alpha. is the same song and dance here with another piece of evidence that she provides. You can see the arrows copy and pasted, but they were actually flipped here, which is the most effort that they went through with this plagiarism. Like copying the homework but trying to make it look a little different. They changed the orientation of the arrows. But then everything else, they didn't even bother trying to make even slight alterations. The symbols are pretty much exact, except for the first symbol there is like in a different direction, but it's still the exact same symbol. They just made it do like little 360s. It is very clear that they took these designs and just copied them into their game. This one is the most shameless, where you can see a tweet from Anti-Real back in June of 2024 saying, "I hid loss in my designs 6 years ago and nobody caught on." And then here's a new post from someone in the alpha saying, "Here from the future, if anyone doubts the theft of your art, this also confirms it." And it's a screenshot in Marathon, and you can see loss. Now, if you don't know what that symbol is, it's a meme. I'm sure you've at least heard of the meme, loss. So Anti-Real's saying that in her art, she hid that. And then in Marathon, it just magically turns up. And you know, it's kind of a little bit of an odd coinky-dink, you know what I'm saying? I've also seen this one floating around, which is completely indefensible. No matter how brain-dead and determined you are to defend Marathon, there is no mental gymnastics you could possibly use to explain this away. On the right, you can see Anti-Real's poster from the Anti-Real Daily Series, and on the left you can see Marathon, and you can literally still see it say Anti-Real Daily Series in that green box. They changed the colors but kept everything the same, including the text that says Anti-Real Daily Series. They just tried to cover it very loosely, very lazily, but you can still make it out. Worth mentioning that it's not like they just took her art and then used it in one spot, one time, hidden, you know, off the beaten path, like a little Easter egg behind a dumpster. We have to spin around 4 times and then you get to see what they plagiarized. No, this is art that they stole and used frequently throughout the game. It is a core part of the design, and you see them a lot in the alpha. Apparently, I didn't play the alpha because I'm not really interested in the game. But there are so many screenshots in so many places that all of this shows up, and they never paid her for her work. They didn't give her any kind of, you know, credit for it. Nothing. Nothing at all. And also, there are numerous Bungie employees that follow her account. Like, there are people on the Bungie team that follow her account. It's not like they just didn't know about her, and they're not even trying to hide the fact that they did know her art. So it's pretty clear cut here. Now, Anti-Real said, "Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. In 10 years, I have never made a consistent income from this work, and I am tired of designers from huge companies mood-boarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living." It's more than mood-boarding, though. Clearly, they did just directly steal the artwork from her, and they very easily could have hired her. If they loved her design language that she had refined, and they wanted to use it to help steer the aesthetic of the game and use it in the game, they could have absolutely hired her. Or, at the very least, paid her for the work. You know, the legal correct thing to do here. It's just craziness. They instead just ripped it. 1-to-1, just ripped it with no alterations or anything. And that then calls into question this whole aesthetic that Marathon has. One of the main things people would praise for Marathon, a lot of people I know hated the alpha. It wasn't received overly well from what I saw. But the one thing that remained consistent is that a lot of players really liked the look of the game. And now this comes out, it really feels like the look of the game is stolen from other artists' work. Like, that's now the perception a lot of people have. It's just so fried. I just can't believe how blatant this plagiarism was. Now, as I mentioned, the Marathon dev team did make a statement. "We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in-game." Very convenient that it was a former Bungie artist, even though there's still current Bungie employees following this same account. Calls into question the legitimacy of that claim that this is all just some, like, rogue operative that, you know, became a loose cannon and went off book and stole this work without us knowing. "The issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to Anti-Real to discuss this issue and are committed to doing right by the artist. As a matter of policy, we do not use the work of artists without their permission. well, not only a matter of policy, that's a matter of law. You can't just steal people's work like that. Yeah, I don't know why they try to like play this moral high ground. We would never do this. It is part of our mission statement. When you walk into the Bungie HQ, it says, "We shall not steal." And it's what sets us apart from the rest of the industry. To prevent similar issues in the future, we are conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets, specifically those done by the former Bungie artist, and implementing stricter checks to document all artist contributions. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we are committed to doing right by them. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. As other outlets have mentioned, this is not the first time Bungie has stolen art. It happened in Destiny 2 as well, so they do have a history of doing it occasionally, but to this scale is unheard of. This is probably one of the larger instances of just blatant plagiarism I've seen from a AAA game. It is egregious. And what's mind-boggling to me is I went into the comments there on those tweets, and there are people defending it saying that it's just, you know, a coincidence. Anti-Real doesn't own the corporate brutalist style. This is ridiculous. What are you guys even apologizing for? They're actually just shutting out reality. It's not like they just drew inspiration from Anti-Real's brutalist style. They literally took it and copy and pasted it without their permission. They didn't pay for it. They didn't even credit the artist. That is not legal. You can't do that. And yet there's still people just, you know, plugging their ears to it in order to continue to shill Marathon on Twitter. Blows my mind. It is indefensible. No matter how you spin it, they stole that work. And they are openly saying that they did steal that work and downplaying the severity to the severity of how much was taken. I think it's a lot more than they're letting on here, because you can see tons of screenshots from tons of different examples. Unless that former Bungie employee that they're pinning it all on was like a really higher up on the food chain here that was responsible for a ton of the art in the game, it really feels like it's probably more than just that person. Because there is a lot. Anyway, though, just another bad day for Bungie here. They're really they're going through it right now, and it's all entirely their own fault, really. That lawsuit, that could have been handled pretty quickly if they didn't just constantly vault content that people paid money for, taking away people's access to it, including their own access to it. That's on them. Stealing other people's art, that's also on them. It's entirely Bungie's fault for all the problems they're facing right now. Shit's crazy. That's about it. See ya. It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep because the air conditioning stopped working, and since I live in Florida, it's shot up to over 80 degrees in my house right now, which is suboptimal snoozing temperatures. I'm basically taking the One Punch Man challenge, and I figured since I can't sleep, I might as well talk about something that's on my mind. You may see that I'm sweating right now. I'm feeling the heat, but that's nothing compared to the heat that all League of Legends professional players are feeling in the North American region. Now, I don't know about you, I can only speak for little old me here, but when I think of esports, the first game that pops into my noodle is League of Legends. That, for me, is the game that really popped off the esports scene and made it mainstream. Of course, I did watch MLG for Halo 2 and all of that, and of course a bit of StarCraft, but League of Legends is when I really got hooked in the space. And now, Riot Games seems beyond determined to ruin it. Like they're doing everything they can to put the LCS in the grave, which is wild. Now, I'm about 4 years sober from League. I was highly addicted from seasons 3 to 6, roughly 7, and that was an addiction harder to kick than heroin, I imagine. But I did it. And I still do keep up because I do really still love the pro scene of it. And to see everything that's happening in the space right now is more upsetting than the intro to Pixar's Up. It's very odd to see Riot unleashing this fury from the deepest pits of hell upon the LCS. They're basically waging a war on American soil with the NA region. Now, if you do keep up with League of Legends and the esports scene, you'll probably know that North America's been a little lackluster. They're not out there with the strongest competition on Summoner's Rift at the moment. But that doesn't mean that Riot needs to fucking slap them around for some reason. Now, this is actually a very deep situation with a ton of layers to the onion, so I'm just going to show you a quick screenshot that lays out some of the basics, and then I'm going to dive in a bit deeper. But this is just a general overview of what's going on. You can pause the video here to read all of this, but I'll just give you a quick nutshell breakdown. It all started in the Challengers League, which is fundamentally where players get developed into the top tier talent. You know, this is where players get to the big stage. They go through that to try and make it to the big stage where they're competing for all the clams, all the steamed ham. And there was some requests to change things around with how that whole system works. And Riot got a little wacko mode with some of the changes they wanted to implement. And a lot of what they wanted wasn't exactly satisfactory to the LCS Player Association. So the LCSPA, the LCS Player Association, eventually had to call for a vote among the LCS players, the pro players, to stage a walkout as a form of protest because Riot was unwilling to budge or reach any kind of compromise that would be favorable to all parties. So the majority of players voted in favor of the walkout. And this lit a fire deep in the soul of Riot where they were ready to draw their swords and go to battle. They got the fucking big guns out and were ready to put the kibosh on it. They got a big attitude about this situation. They were like Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy when he got that rock in his shoe. They were livid. So, in response to the walkout, they shook their finger. They said, no, 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 no. You are going to be obligated to field players, which means every org would then have to get substitutes to play for them. Substitutes that would be pretty much committing career suicide if they accepted the role, because they'd basically be crossing a picket line here. They'd be going against the striking players. They're going against the protest. So it's reputational suicide for anyone that would do it. It's a bad look for the orgs, and it's obviously a bad look for Riot. It's a lose, 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 lose across the board. This is a bigger losing record than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before we got Tom Brady. This was nobody winning in this situation. But Riot was adamant, no, you will have to field players. And in order to try and make it easier, they decided to lift the requirement for the players they could field. They said it doesn't matter the player's rank, anyone can play for these teams, you just have to field them and pay them. But they said no more ranked requirement, meaning anyone of any rank could play for them. They could literally have their intern who's never touched League of Legends be their professional LCS player because Riot is forcing them to field somebody. Anybody with a fucking pulse. You could train your dog to go up and slap on your keyboard a little bit, and that would be A-okay by Riot because there were no requirements left for the substitute position. Fucking me, a gold superstar one-trick Yorick, could have been an LCS pro player this week by this new ruling because there were no fucking requirements. It's wild. Instead of trying to reach some kind of decision that's amicable with the LCSPA, they instead just said, alright, Wild West time. Absolute fucking chaos and pandemonium. We're opening Pandora's box. You all are forced to field substitute players, and we don't even fucking care if they've played the game before in their life. Doesn't matter. Just put someone out there with a heartbeat. Fuck it. And fuck you. They are just actually out here spitting in the face of all of the LCS players. It's pretty disgusting. Now, it's worth mentioning that not everyone thinks Riot is fully in the wrong for this situation, so I haven't seen Tyler One's clips on it yet, but according to this article, he seems to believe Riot actually made the right decision here with their decision to scrap the mandatory participation in the NACL. He calls them paycheck thieves and says that 90% of the players won't ever be good enough for the LCS, so it just causes the orgs to bleed money. Admittedly, I don't keep up with the NACL, any of that scene, so I can't really fully opine on just how effective it was. But according to the rest of the tweet that had the bullet points, apparently 50% of the current LCS players have been through the NACL, so it does seem like at least a lot of the talent for the LCS comes through it. But in the same tweet, it also talks about how expensive it is to field an NACL team. So there's just a lot of moving parts to this situation here, and regardless on where you stand for the effectiveness of the NACL and whether or not it should have ever been a mandatory requirement, I think everyone should be able to recognize the scummy behavior from Riot with their absolute refusal to compromise on anything. That's not uncharacteristic behavior from Riot, and I know Tyler One's had his fair share of criticisms against the company for their downright reluctance. They'll fucking stomp their feet and refuse to change anything. They just don't budge. And in this case, they're not even really negotiating with the LCSPA. And I think that is a huge problem. Again, it doesn't really matter where you stand so much on the NACL itself. The problem really does stem from Riot's complete refusal to even bother trying to reach some kind of satisfactory conclusion here. They seem far more willing to just completely wipe their hands with the LCS, just treat the LCS like a toilet seat, and just fucking wipe their ass with it like toilet paper. So the situation has developed further. They had another meeting today, and Riot Games fucking ulted. They let it all hang out. It was a base race, and Riot Games, they were well fed. They outright said that they are completely fine with just canceling the season if teams don't comply with Riot's parameters. They delayed it by 2 weeks, so they pushed it off an additional 2 weeks from right now. And if they still don't play ball with how Riot wants them to participate, they're just going to cancel the season, and that would make the LCS ineligible to be in the Worlds for 2023. Now, that's harsh. They ran it down mid with this statement here. This shit is brutal. If they don't do what Riot is asking them to do at the end of this 2-week period, they would be willing to cancel the entire summer season, and that would ruin the eligibility for the LCS to qualify for 2023 Worlds. Now, if you don't keep up with League of Legends, Worlds is the biggest stage. One of the biggest stage in all of esports, to be fair. It is huge. So by not allowing them to qualify there because of all of this, that's a huge blow. Keep in mind how expensive it is to even be an organization in the League of Legends space. The LCS is not cheap. We're talking 8 figures. It is a very expensive endeavor, and these orgs have gone all in to be there. So this kind of threat is terrifying. That could like actually just straight up ruin some orgs, like outright. Like, I'm sure there are sponsors dependent on these orgs being in League, for example. So, like, there's a lot on the line for these orgs, whereas Riot can just kind of write it off as, like, a loss. Like, you know what? Whatever. We still got fucking billions here. So what? We'll take a bit of a loss on the LCS. Fuck them. They disobeyed us. They didn't listen to us. And for that, they stepped out of line. We gotta punish them. Make an example out of them to all the other major regions. Like, it's scary. And there's, of course, the LCS isn't the only region. It is a major region, but it's not the only one, of course. So I'm very curious how the other regions will respond to this, because I would feel like they should also be a little concerned with how Riot's handling this, where, like, if things aren't going swimmingly, Riot seems totally fine going scorched earth protocol and just lighting it all on fire, like with what they're doing with the LCS here. So I guess we'll see how the 2-week period goes. It seems like there's going to continue to be dialogue between the LCSPA and Riot Games to see if they can reach some kind of happy ending here, but as of right now, at 4 a.m., it's not looking too promising for the future of the LCS, which is just super sad. Because again, the LCS used to be a powerhouse. Like, this was the esports scene. And to see where it's at today is crazy. And to see Riot so willing to just get rid of it, like cancel the season, is crazier. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because it's something that I've been thinking about a lot and following closely. So that's about it. See ya. I love to smile. I love to laugh. I love a vibrant sunset with a nice cool breeze. And more than any of those things, I love to speedrun. And speedrunning is where all of that I listed goes to die. Even though I have a fiery passion for speedrunning, there is nothing on the planet that can make me angrier. Getting deep into a run that I've practiced for weeks only to have it all go tits up at the very end through some random RNG nonsense and it just everything gets cattywampus and I lose the run, that puts more stress on my body than smoking 20 packs of cigarettes at once, I imagine. But point is, I am a speedrun enthusiast. I have speedran various games over the course of like 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. I currently hold 0 world records, but I have had a couple world records to my name throughout this decade. Not to toot my own horn and not to reminisce too hard on the glory days, but point is, I just love speedrunning. And a lot of content I watch on YouTube is speedrun related. And today I want to talk about one of the most infamous cheaters in the entirety of this genre. Cody Miller. No, not the Olympic athlete, the Olympic asshole that was a Halo speedrunner that topped the charts for many years through spliced runs. just lying and cheating his way to the top of the food chain of the early Halo speedrun community, and he performed one of the most embarrassing segments that Games Done Quick has ever broadcast, and I want to go over that today. For those that want like a full breakdown on Cody Miller, there's a great video going over his entire history from Rocket Sloth. It is a fascinating story. The lore is riveting and deeper than House of the Dragon, but what I want to focus on today is the moment where he put on the clown makeup for the whole world to see, and the effects of this moment are still felt to this day, and it's been many years since this happened. It is his Halo CE legendary speedrun for Games Done Quick. I think most of you know what Games Done Quick is, but in case you don't, GDQ is an annual event that raises money through charity. It's a speedrunning event where the best runners for games will go and put on a speedrun performance that raises money for charity. And Cody Miller was invited to speedrun Halo CE, and it was a fucking disaster. It was only supposed to take like 2 hours and some change for him to complete this run, but it ended up going over 4 hours. It couldn't have been worse. He could have passed the controller to my father, who hasn't played a game in 15 years, and he probably could have finished this game faster than Cody did. I've never watched the full VOD, and I've never heard of anyone actually suffering through all 4 hours of this excruciating torture until today. I just watched the video from a channel called Frog Archist, perhaps? I'm not sure if I'm getting the name correct, but they actually subjected themselves to the entire 4-hour VOD in order to review all of the best bits. And by best, it's not like a montage of highlights, it's lowlights. And it is amazing. I was thoroughly entertained by Frog's video, so I highly recommend you check out the full video on his channel. I'll put a link to it in the description. I think they did an incredible job with it.
Whether it's I would really prefer if you'd be quiet, or this girl asking a runner to pause the game so she can talk about her grandma that died from cancer, over the years there's been a fair number of cringe moments in the speedrun community. I'm a Frog, and today we're going to look at Halo speedrunning signature cringe moment, Cody Miller's 2011 Halo CE GDQ run.
Even if you haven't heard of GDQ, I'm very confident you've seen some of the viral clips, because for a long time this was like the cringe factory. This was like the cringe utopia. Every year there'd be 1 or 2 massive moments of uncomfortable awkwardness that would pop off across the entire internet landscape. The cyberspace would collectively come together to watch some of these GDQ clips, like a couple of the ones that he mentioned there. And during the heyday of these cringe classics, Cody Miller's run sits firmly towards the top. It wasn't just one moment during his run that was awful. It wasn't just like 30 seconds or a minute of silliness that people, giggle at and shoot spitballs at. It was 4 hours of just this prolonged dogshit sensation of cringe. And its effects are still felt to this day. Like I mentioned, there is the Cody Miller rule that is now implemented as a result of this, because it was so bad and went so long, so far over time, that now GDQ has said that they can end a run for any reason at any time due to scheduling. So because his went so long and they didn't end it, they regret it, and now they have a rule that they can basically end it if need be.
He was even mentioned in the Guinness Book of World Records for beating Halo 2 on Legendary in 3 hours deathless, which later turned out to be faked along with some, if not all, of his other records.
I know Guinness Book of World Records has lost most of its prestige because people are aware that you can kind of just buy them now and then choose the most niche shit ever that no one is ever going to compete with you on. Like right now, I could probably get the world record for longest time spent sitting in a chair while doing the Gojo domain expansion and also holding my nuts. And all I have to do is call them, phone them up, pay them, have someone come out and watch me do this for like 15 minutes, and I guarantee no one else has done that before. But back in this time period, a Guinness World Record, that was a huge deal, especially for the speedrunning community. But it turns out Cody faked that and pretty much all of his world records, and yet he still had the chutzpah to go to GDQ to run live.
Let's hop in.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Halo tricks or anything, that's why.
Don't get your hopes up, bro. You're not going to see them here either.
That just sets the stage so beautifully. People were really excited to see the Halo CE speedrunning tricks and glitches, only to get nothing. Cody didn't deliver shit. I could probably count the amount of tricks that he successfully pulled off in this 4-hour run on one hand. Rather, one finger. Like, he just could not do any of the tricks, and even just openly stated that some of them are just too hard, so he's not going to bother. What ends up happening is he just plays the game normally, poorly. And he goes from legendary down to heroic because he was struggling so much. Then he started struggling on heroic as well, so then he went down to normal to finish his run. It's a fucking masterpiece of a catastrophe.
Is Paul Miller related to you? 25 minutes. That's not, he's serious time right now. Can't get anything out of him.
As we all know, the most entertaining speedruns are the ones where the runner doesn't talk at all or explain what they're doing. Boring is the best way to describe his Pillar of Autumn run.
For his Pillar of Autumn, I actually did watch it. Now, I think it's worth mentioning, I have tried to speedrun Halo CE as well as Halo 2. I find the runs to be super fun to watch, so I've tried both of them, but I'm too dog shit at the games to actually succeed at them. So I'm familiar with like modern routes for Halo CE and Halo 2, and I wanted to see what this looked like back then. So I watched this Pillar of Autumn run. This guy, it's like he witnessed a murder. Rather, it's more like he is the murderer. Like, he is stone cold psychopath for Pillar of Autumn. Like, it doesn't even seem like he's having fun most of the time. Like, occasionally there's like a little smile that'll come up, but he's focusing so hard. And he is still so bad at the game that he's there to run.
For example, in this room, the classic strat was to stick one elite, throw a plasma at the door, and make a break for it. Instead, Cody sits here for 2 minutes struggling to kill everybody. Even if you are going to try to clear the room, it should not take him this long. Also, why did bro not grab the Magnum? Have you never played CE before? I managed to get a hold of the high-speed Halo world records at the time of Cody's run, and the world record for Pillar of Autumn was 5:19. I timed Cody's here as 8:29. Not very good.
That was the thing that stood out the most to me as well. Cody hates the pistol more than Garfield hates Mondays. This dude just refused to pick up the pistol, which is by far the best option for this game. It really does seem like he never even played it. Now, Frog is a Halo CE runner, so he offers insight on how a lot of these things were supposed to look and how Cody did them, or rather didn't do them most of the time, which I find to just be so entertaining. I really appreciate that.
The first real trick of the game at the time was where you walk over here, do a grenade jump, and skip the bridge. This saves a couple seconds versus walking, but we mainly do it to skip a trigger. There'd normally be 2 Banshees and a Covenant squad up ahead that we now don't have to deal with. It's one of the easiest tricks in the game, and there's zero reason for a CE speedrunner not to do it. Unless they don't know how to do it. Let's see how he does.
Oh, I'm the best.
Oh no. Well, maybe now he'll do the grenade jump. Nope, he's just walking back across the bridge. Alright, he got him. Now he can advance to the next area. Why are you dropping the Magnum?
Hide and shoot.
Man, bro, maybe you wouldn't have died there if you could just headshot the elite when his shields are down. Oh no.
Grenade jumps in Halo are second nature to anyone that has ever played a Halo game before. Even if you're not a speedrunner, you know about grenade jumps. Even if you just play the multiplayer, grenade jumps are like an integral part of Halo's identity for like the longest time. So it's so weird how bad Cody is at them when he tries them in this run, or how he just decides not to do them for most of the run. They're not hard to do. Some of them require a bit more of a setup, like some of the later grenade jumps, but for this, you just need one grenade, you jump, let the explosion blast you up so you skip that trigger. I even know that trick. I can pull that one off. That one's not hard for me. And I'm not a Guinness Book World Record holder. I think the most embarrassing thing isn't him not doing tricks or failing all the tricks that he tries, it's how frequently he dies during this run. He has more deaths in this speedrun in 4 hours than most kids probably had in their entire time playing Halo CE. It is shocking how often he is eating dirt here. Like, and that is very obvious to people that don't even play the game. So like, if you don't know Halo speedruns, you don't know if he's missing a trick or not doing a trick. But you know when he dies, because that resets his progress and you see him collapse. And you just have to sit there and watch it. And he has to sit there and stew in the shame.
But even without modern grenade lineups, they're all fairly easy if you know what you're doing. You mainly just grenade the elites as they come out and clean up everyone else. On the first ship, Cody inexplicably runs to the left to take out Jackals. It grunts first, retreats, and then dies. Then dies again and says something you probably never want to hear in a live speedrun.
I forgot how to do this part.
He then adopts the strategy I used as a 5-year-old when the Covenant scared me, which is to be safe and stay on top of the structure. He proceeds to die anyway.
That section had me laughing so hard. I actually remember when I was super young on that part in particular, that was a big struggle for me, even on like normal difficulty. That was before my gamer gene had fully awakened. And watching Cody do this section reminded me so much of me when I was a child. Like Frog mentions, he adopts a strategy most kids did back in the day. And this is supposed to be the best Halo speedrunner in the world, with tons of world records to his name, embarrassing himself like this. It's very clear that he doesn't actually run these games. He just cheats his way to the top. And the community started to pick up on that when they were watching this train wreck live.
Man, this isn't going well.
Cody was also in the Guinness Book of World Records for making the understatement of the century. After a couple more deaths, Cody decided to do something not typically seen in a legendary speedrun, which is to change the difficulty to heroic.
I was giggling hard when he said the understatement of a century, because it really is. This couldn't be worse. He just changed the difficulty to heroic. He just dropped the difficulty because he is struggling so much. I don't know how Cody didn't just get up and leave and just apologize, like, hey, sorry I wasted everyone's time. We're just gonna pull the plug on this. We're gonna mercy kill this right now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm bad at this. Let somebody else run. Go to a break. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I can't believe. Sports fans, we are only on the second level here. There is 4 more hours of this to go. He has only completed 1 level on the difficulty that he was designated to run this at. And he is already giving up, throwing in the towel on Legendary within the first encounter of level 2. You couldn't quit sooner. Not even 5% into level 2 and he already lowers the difficulty. It's one thing to fake speedruns, but I honestly don't even know if he's ever played this game before. Because even if you're bad at the speedrun, if you have practiced and played the game just normally, you should be able to beat this game on Legendary. It doesn't take the world's best esports athlete to beat Halo CE on Legendary. I did it when I was a kid. And yet Cody Miller, supposedly the best of Halo CE, can't even beat the second level on it. That is so embarrassing. People that are playing this game for the first time or practicing the speedrun, learning it for the first time, don't look as bad as Cody did.
Cody successfully does a cutscene skip on the light bridge, but more importantly answers a question about what tricks he's going to do.
Does Light asks, Cody, are you doing AOT CR fall, Silent Cartographer launch, and or Keys Shield bump?
Key shield bump, no. Assault on the control room, maybe. Silent Cartographer, definitely.
I don't know what's funnier, them feeling the need to ask if he was going to do basic tricks, or him saying yes to only one.
I would go to Legendary for the library.
Cody is saying he would raise the difficulty on the library. Keep this statement in the back of your mind.
Get hyped, Twitch chat. He's going to maybe do 1 trick out of 3 basic ones that were requested. Why are you there? Like, he openly states that he didn't practice this. He hadn't touched the game in 2 years. Though I'm gonna call baloney on that. I think that's a load of goddamn horseradish. I don't think he's ever really touched the game other than some editing software when he was splicing his runs together. I think he just really liked being the big guy in Halo speedrunning. And this GDQ segment made him the big clown, the spittoon that everyone was taking turns hawking a loogie into because, hooey, it was rough.
Just because I haven't practiced this game in like 2 years, this is pretty tough.
Then why did you agree to do it? In runs now, we'll pretty much just run past this entire opening. In every old run I'd seen before, they'd stay back here and take guys out, so I figured Cody would do the same, but he attempted to rush and completely failed at it. He then walks off a cliff by accident. Expert commentary here, don't walk off the cliff. But it's okay, because now he's worked his way back and ready to push through. He did it again. That wasn't a replay. He actually did it again. He dies his 3rd attempt too, but at least it was in a conventional way.
It's not like Cody was kidnapped and forced to run Halo CE. He had plenty of time to practice this game. I don't know why he's like almost proud of saying like, oh yes, well, I haven't actually played Halo CE in the last 2 years, so it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. It's a little more difficult than I would have expected, but it's nothing for an elite gamer such as myself. I just had to drop the difficulty once, and now I'm doing totally fine, and then immediately proceeds to die 3 times in the opening segment of the next level. 2 of them to just running off of a cliff. Like, he's not even familiar with the fucking levels. Like, I really don't think he had ever played much Halo CE before this event. There is 10 levels in Halo CE. We are 40 minutes in, and we are only on the 3rd. You can see how miserable this was for viewers, for the, God bless their soul, the spectators subjected to the in-person disaster here, watching Cody run this, and just for anyone with eyes that happened to be, you know, glancing at the screen when this was on someone's monitor. This is so embarrassing to even just look at. And it just goes on for so long.
Progress. Around the 50-minute mark, the chat starts asking if someone other than Cody can try to play.
Bob the Champ, only Cody Miller will be playing Halo. No one else is taking the controller.
I bet they regret that decision now. Someone should have just walked up and slapped the controller out of his hands and turned off the TV and just went to the next game. Like, chat, I think, was totally right to ask for anybody else to play this.
On Legendary, there's 10 waves with random spawns. Some of these waves will have gold sword elites, while others will just be jackals and or grunts. When playing on Heroic, like Cody, instead of gold elites, you get stealth elites. Cody gives himself a dose of copium by arguing that stealth elites, which have no shields, are actually stronger than gold elites, the highest ranking elites in the game.
In Legendary, those guys are gold, so it's actually, it can be somewhat more difficult on Heroic.
I do love that. I think that's great. Yeah, I know I dropped the difficulty, but it's only because I actually wanted more of a challenge for myself. You see, this one specific segment is actually significantly harder on Heroic, because the elites, you see, they're not gold elites, they're a rank lower, which is actually 15 ranks higher than gold elites. You guys wouldn't understand, you're not in the Halo speedrunning community.
Eventually he makes it through though, and now it's time for the first major embarrassing trick screw up of the run. However, I also found old runs that did this. This is from famous Halo runner Subwhistle. This is 3 plasmas and 1 frag to get you all the way onto the dropship. Cody does a weird amalgamation of this where he throws 3 plasmas like he's gonna do the dropship jump, but then he doesn't throw the last frag. The results are less than desired.
Oh, not quite. Oh, damn it, I have to jump. You know what, we'll just do this normally.
You can hear how deflated everyone in that room is when he says, we'll just do this normally. He gives up really quickly on this trick, by the way. So, Frog went on to explain that grenade jump has existed in runs as far back as 2007. So that strategy, like, that was cemented in Halo speedrunning when Cody was doing this, and he just couldn't do it. So then he gives up on that, does it normally, which adds an unbelievable amount of time to this run. By the time Cody finishes this run, we'll have probably already experienced a new Pangea on the globe. It is crazy how slow he is going. And he is this miasma of misery that is sucking all of the fun out of that room like a Dementor. Like, everyone in that room looks miserable. That is like the most joyless room I've ever seen on camera there. Everybody looks so bored out of their mind because Cody cannot do any of the tricks and he can't even play the game well. So it's just this agonizing experience just watching it.
Instead, Cody just plays through the level normally while dying a bunch of times.
You don't need to press that button.
Oh shoot, I think you're right, I do have to press that button.
Blow stuff up.
No, you don't. Hurry up.
He gets backseat gamed by chat who are trying to like coach him through how to play Halo and where to go. And then even people around him are like, hey, do you need to do that? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. I do need to do that. And you don't. Like he is just not even familiar with the game that he is now playing. And yet he agreed to do this and didn't bother to do the bare minimum of at least trying to play through it once on Legendary maybe before coming to this event.
Cody actually knows what to do here. He's not good at any of it, but he knows what to do. Basically, you turn around at the start, grab this Warthog, drive into the facility, and fling yourself through this door before it locks. Normally, you'd have to go to a different part of the island to unlock it, but with that and then falling off in such a way that we don't die, we skip a huge chunk of this level. Let's see how Cody does.
Get through it, but if you go around, if you...
It's pretty slick if you see the... high-speed Halo, it's super cool.
Yeah, how's this?
Oh nice, he actually got it. Let's see the fall off.
Oh wow, yeah, that skips a lot of levels.
So now,
another skip.
Here comes the hard part.
Eventually he gets it, then after messing up the simplest grenade jump imaginable a couple times, he gets an active camo and is able to run back to the top.
Failing the grenade jumps in the previous level added an extra 37-ish minutes to this total runtime here, and in the following level, he actually does finally pull off a trick. And it's a trick I love. Silent Cartographer is a great level, as Frog also mentions, and I really think that that trick is just so silly and fun. I am able to do that pretty consistently, or at least I was when I was actively trying to learn this route. And Cody does get it within, the first 10 attempts, which, all things considered with this is not terrible.
It's maybe an attempt to trick. What? Are you kidding?
Alright, so this level still wasn't good, but at least it wasn't half an hour. On the Cody curve, this is a colossal W. Unfortunately, it's followed by maybe the biggest L of the entire run. Assault in the Control Room is a pretty simple level, especially back in 2011. So you fight your way through the first room to the bridge. From the bridge, there's a trick called Bridge Fall, which was the legendary strat for a long time, but now is only done on easy runs. There's 3 falls, the first one off the bridge, the second one onto a ledge, and then the third jump just to get down.
Huzzah! Another trick that I am very familiar with. I know this trick and have done it many times. It's actually pretty tough. Like, this one I struggled with as well, but I don't claim to be the best Halo CE runner that's ever lived. I wasn't born to speedrun Halo CE, I merely tried to learn it. It wasn't embedded deep within my DNA or anything, and I can get the trick most times, and let's see how Cody does with it.
Oh my god, he got it. Now he just needs to fall off the right way. You have got to be kidding me. After several minutes of trying, Cody gave up, and instead of beating the longest level in the game in about 7 minutes, he now has to play through it in its entirety. And I have to sit through the entire thing.
23 attempts and he didn't get it, so he once again waved the white flag and just decided to play through the level normally. He should have just kept doing it until he finally hit it. He would eventually get lucky if he just kept banging his head against the wall. It is not a trick that is RNG dependent. It is a skill issue. You can hit that trick every time once you figure out how to do it properly. And yet, Cody he has no idea. Like, he understands the concept, but he's probably never actually done it before. So in the run, he didn't have any confidence in it. After 23 attempts, he just said, alright, fuck it, we'll do it live, plays the level normally, but he's bad at the game, so playing the level normally takes fucking 5 times as long. This is the longest level in the game, made even longer by someone as bad as Cody playing it. That is the worst combination for a games done quick speedrun event. Truly, hats off to Frog for sitting through all of this. It is excruciating, even just watching like the condensed version of it.
Pro gamer stuff right here, folks. Why are you waiting for a Marine to get in? You're literally getting out right up here. There's a skip here I was hoping he'd know about. He didn't, of course, but you can actually hop on this glass and get to the other side early. This skip's like another 5 minutes at least. For Cody, it would have saved 17 minutes. Worth noting, Cody's time estimate for this run, the time that the event was planning around, was 2 hours. Now well past the 2-hour mark, Cody is still on level 5 of 10.
Oh, music to my ears. He's halfway through the game and already 12 minutes over the estimated time. Usually the time estimation is higher than you need it to be just in case to give you a little buffer when it comes to these things, and yet Cody is already well over that. That's amazing. Chef's kiss. And it just keeps getting worse.
Going, what is this? What is that? Cortana, what is this? And that's the story.
You have got to be kidding me. He actually did it. It took him 43 minutes longer than it should have, but still, he actually did it.
Like, you don't have a chance.
Stop dropping the Magnum. This level isn't very hard, and Cody, despite a couple stupid deaths, is getting through it. Really, the only difficulty in this one is navigating your way through the facility, which is meant to be confusing. But for an experienced runner, that shouldn't be a problem. Wait, where is he going? This is back the way you came. What are you doing?
43 extra minutes of playtime, baby. I view that as a positive thing. That's 43 extra minutes of fun. We're going overtime on fun, baby. That's great. Now the next level is supposed to be really easy, and as Frog mentions, the only thing that can kind of be a little bit of a hang-up is just getting lost, because it is kind of a confusing layout. But for an experienced runner, or even a novice runner who's like at least played the level a couple of times, even just casually, you'd probably know where to go.
There was grunts in the room before this one. See, now I'm like actually legitimately lost.
You agreed to speedrun this game, and you don't even know where to go. And you just died, and now we're all the way back to the start of the reveal room. Oh my fuck.
Was actually manning the donation counter.
He just did a grenade jump to get back where he started. He actually made it to the shotgun room. We are so back.
I don't know if Cody just had amnesia or something, like maybe the Men in Black showed up and neuralized all of the knowledge of Halo CE out of his brain, but I just don't know how you can wander around aimlessly in a game that you're supposed to be really familiar with, or agree to do this without ever even, like, really playing the game.
So after this elevator he's on now, there's a trick called camo jump or camo jumo, where we grab active camo, do a jump you're not supposed to be able to do, and then you can run basically to the end while camouflaged. After grabbing camo, Cody tries to grenade jump and fails horribly. He didn't attempt it again. Any semblance of this being a speedrun has now completely vanished, and everyone in the room looks embarrassed for Cody. To start the library, Cody saves and quits and lowers the difficulty to normal. I will now remind you of this from earlier.
I would go to Legendary for the library.
After getting lost and dying more times than a Mr. Meeseeks, Cody finally just says, "I'm tired of embarrassing myself to this degree," and lowers the difficulty even further to normal. I think he should have just went all the way and set it to easy, because even on normal, he is struggling.
He was also getting bad checkpoint luck, and there were a few times where he died, missed a checkpoint, and went back 2+ minutes. Pain. A little over the 3-hour mark, a woman enters the room before quickly making the correct decision to leave. I counted 7 deaths for Cody on the library despite playing on normal. I can only imagine the comedy that would have ensued had he tried it on Legendary.
I don't even know if it'd necessarily be comedy, because Cody would still be on that level in that room today if he set the difficulty to Legendary. He could hardly get through it on normal. On Legendary, he'd need to be calling in the goddamn A-team to assist him with this. He'd need the game genie and cheat codes out here.
So how about them Jets, boys?
How about that Julian Assange, huh?
Yeah, Julian Assange.
Talk about him.
At this point, they're desperately trying to find anything other than the game to talk about.
I'm so wanting this to end right now.
Me too, Cody. Me too.
I know you guys are hating me right now. No.
This is one of the most awkward things I have ever sat through.
Someone, Cody, is trying to remind you there's a ghost somewhere near. Ask them where, because I forget. By the shade turret.
Even the chat is trying to backseat game for him.
The realization that this is probably one of the worst moments in GDQ history starts to hit Cody, and he becomes very self-aware about it, like, yeah, you guys are probably really mad about this right now. Oh, I can't wait for this to end. Like, yes, Cody, you have wasted everyone's time. You lied about all your world records, you cheated on all of it, and yet you still decided to come out here taking this spot from somebody else and wasting an entire afternoon of not only all the people in the room, but all the people watching, or that were watching, wanting to see interesting things, to get excited and raise money for a good cause, but instead, they're just sitting here, head in their hands, having to wait for you to finish this run. Like, you yourself could have just ended it. When you said you wanted it to end, you could have just fucking pulled the power cord out from it and gone home. And you probably would have received a standing ovation for that. Like, that would have taken a lot more strength than sticking this out. This sucks, man. Frog showcased every single one of Cody's deaths during this level, and keep in mind, this is on normal difficulty. Holy shit.
21. He died 21 times in one level playing on normal at an event where he was invited to play on Legendary. It took him over 40 minutes on normal when the Legendary record at the time was 17:23. Anyway, on to keys.
How is that even possible? You have to be beyond turbo ass to take over 20 deaths in a single level on normal difficulty. Compared to the rest of the series, Halo CE's normal difficulty is pretty forgiving in my opinion. I don't know how he managed to die that many times. I'm almost like more impressed by that than I would be if he actually did this run properly. I'm really wondering how Cody was ever even able to gather enough footage to even splice together runs and fool people in the first place. I don't even know how he had enough footage of him being alive in Halo CE to splice runs to cheat to the top of the leaderboard, because it seems like he spends more time dead in Halo CE than alive.
Keys should have been the shortest level of the run. This is another trick that I don't know how to do because it's an outdated trick. Back in Cody's day, you were supposed to do a shield bump out of bounds at the very start of the level, from which you can then do out of bounds platforming to get to the keys room. It turns a 20-minute level on Legendary into a 3 to 4 minute level.
The
But why can't you do the shield bump? It's just extremely difficult. Okay.
What do you mean, why can't he do the shield bump? He can hardly shoot his gun at the enemies. In fact, most of the time he doesn't even do that because he swaps off with a magnum. So obviously he's not even going to try to do a trick. Like, that's just so far out of the realm of possibility at this point in the run. I am surprised anyone even bothered asking him that question.
After a third death at the very start, once again he's playing on normal, he finally makes it to the bridge. I will give Cody credit for this.
Solid, and then I still love the arrow that was pointed at us when we were driving.
Yeah.
The arrow that went like this.
He nailed that 360. And that's Cody's run, just under 4 hours and 17 minutes.
I skipped a lot here from Cody struggling as well as just completely floundering and fumbling everything. He hypes himself up as being good at the last level, and at the time he had the world record here. And this is something that covered very well in Rocket Sloth's video that I found super interesting. So Cody cheated to get that world record using something that was impossible to do legitimately at the time, but he held that record for a long time because it was deemed unbeatable due to Cody having this supposedly lucky run, even though it turns out it was cheated. Cody eventually admitted to cheating everything, or not even everything, I think just most things. And this run will just go down in history as I think GDQ's weakest fart. Like, it's not even so cringe that you'd see a lot of viral clips from it. It's 4 hours and 17 minutes of agony, like actual pain and suffering that they just needed to pull the plug on, but they didn't. And now it's led to a rule where they can and will, should something like this ever happen again. Cody Miller's legacy is one of shame, I would say, where not only was he a prolific cheater in the Halo speedrunning community, but he put on, I think, undoubtedly, the worst GDQ run to ever be broadcast. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about this a little bit, and I think Frog did an amazing job covering this. I hadn't seen pretty much anything that Frog showcased here. I had only watched bits and pieces of the run throughout the years because I wasn't going to watch all 4 hours of this shit. Like, it's crazy to do that. But luckily, Frog did. And that is so commendable. I really appreciate Frog for making that video. I highly recommend you check out the channel. So yeah, absolute pleasure to finally see just how bad Cody Miller's infamous Halo CE speedrun was. That's about it. See ya. Unfortunately, the fun police have arrived at my door, sirens blaring, and they're demanding that I give a statement defending my crime of enjoying Palworld. Palworld is a game that's become more popular than Stanley Cups right now, with an absolute explosion onto the scene, selling over 7 million copies in less than a week and reaching a concurrent player count of over 2 million, which is the second highest peak Steam has ever seen, second only to PUBG, which is a game that was so popular that it was basically bigger than the Bible for a while. And another thing that really helped with this is the price point. Palworld is under $30. Meanwhile, every Pokemon game, even the older ones like Sword and Shield and Let's Go Pikachu, are still $60. And yet Palworld offers 20 times the amount of content and 20 times the fun of these modern Game Freak Pokemon games. It's a better deal. If you've been watching any of my streams over the last few days, or even just over the last few days, I've uploaded 3 videos on this bad boy. It's pretty clear this thing makes me smile. I've got some childlike whimsy when it comes to Palworld. It's extremely rare for me to get as invested in a game as I have with Palworld. The game is surprisingly deep. It's more of a survival game that has a Pokemon element to it for creature catching, and I just love the entire package here. It's in early access, so it's expectedly buggy and glitches out the wazoo with so many flaws and so many problems, but it has so many elements in it that are done well enough and haven't really been blended together successfully in the past that it feels unique and really fun. The thing it gets compared to most besides Pokemon is Ark, and Ark is a game that I found so boring that it would probably cure anyone's insomnia if they were exposed to it for more than 15 minutes. It's also non-functional. I tried to play Ark on stream because my friends and I wanted to build up a really nice crew and eventually raid the devs in the game, but I couldn't even play it on stream because it's so infested with hackers. Anytime I went to a server, a hacker would go in and shut it down and kick us out for 10 minutes. So I couldn't even play that fucking thing. And Palworld just works. Like, even when the servers do go down from stress, they're only down for 5 5 minutes tops. Whereas in Ark, if you get into a server within 5 minutes, you've just done a speedrun world record. Now, I know I'm kind of gushing grannies about Palworld right off rip, but I want to make it clear I really like the game. So the drama was quite the head-scratcher for me. So let's get into like the actual meat of the subject. Palworld is exploding right now, one of the most popular games there is, and there is so much controversy around it with tons of people trying to make anyone that likes it feel bad for liking it, making all kinds of arguments against it, and I want to go through each and every one of these because I find it to be really surprising that this is where we're at right now, and in the beginning of 2024, that we're mad at bootleg Pokemon here for doing what Game Freak refuses to do, innovate. So, I've been very vocal about my distaste for Game Freak's work over the last decade and some change. I think Game Freak is the laziest developers in the world. They get the task once every couple years to go in and copy and paste their last Pokemon game with no real effort, and somehow they still fuck it up every time. The modern Pokemon games have been the same formula. They haven't changed anything. When they've tried with like Arceus, they didn't really go full hog wild with it. They dipped their toes into a couple of ideas and then fucking fell flat on it with mediocre execution. They're too afraid and not talented enough to actually use the Pokemon formula to deliver anything high quality. Multi-billion-dollar franchise, the most fucking lucrative franchise in human history, and the Pokemon games still look like they're made by middle school students as part of some kind of computer science project. It's embarrassing. Like Scarlet and Violet barely even fucking worked. And now we have Palworld that comes out from basically an indie studio that does Pokemon so much better. It should be celebrated that Pokemon is finally being realized for the potential of the concept. There is so much you can do with this, and Palworld is showcasing it, which is why it's so popular. So we shouldn't be content just accepting the sewage, the absolute rotten sludge that Game Freak feeds us when it comes to its Pokemon games, because now we've tasted delicacy with Palworld, and it's so far from perfect, but it's still so much better than anything Game Freak has done recently, it's not even a competition. But anyway, sorry, I keep getting off like on tangents right away, but I'm clearly pretty passionate about this topic. So the first thing people immediately started to target Palworld for is the obvious, that it's extraordinarily derivative of Pokemon even from its designs. There are so many pals in Palworld that are basically a carbon copy of Pokemon, just with the color changed. It's actually the meme of, copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious, you know? And then you get the homework and the only thing that changed is the name on the paper, but it's still the same. Admittedly, that is the case with some of the pals in the game. Not all of them, not even most of them, but a small chunk of them, for sure, are very clearly borrowing many design elements from their Pokemon counterparts. So much so that my friends and I often refer to those pals by their Pokemon name, because they're so close. Now, this has gone a little bit chaotic on Twitter, where people are calling things that don't look similar copies. So a big one was Pinking in Palworld being compared to the Penguin counterparts in Pokemon. And these two don't look even remotely similar. They just take the concept of an Emperor Penguin and do something silly with it in different ways. This tweet sums it up nicely by saying that this actually showcases Palworld putting effort into changing a design concept around and making it their own. So it is a legitimate criticism to dislike how derivative some of the designs are and how it clearly borrows maybe too closely to quite a few of them. But it got out of control with people just saying that for every pal in the game when it's just absolutely not the case. But this is a legitimate criticism that I think is totally reasonable to have and hold against Palworld. I too would like if their designs were a little bit more unique, for sure. That is one of my complaints about the game. Does it ruin my enjoyment of it? Absolutely not. It definitely doesn't. Is it a bit of a blemish on it? For sure. But now let's get into the ones that I think have absolutely no merit whatsoever. One of the major things people were saying day one with Palworld is that it's just an asset flip. This was a perspective shared by many that decided not to turn their brain on for the day, and they went viral with people pumping their fists like, yeah, it is an asset flip. This was a big one, saying that it was creatively bankrupt and poorly put together asset flip of a game. This was another one saying that 10 years ago, an asset flip game like this would have been relentlessly ridiculed, and also called it generative AI slop. We'll get into all the AI can of worms here in just a minute, but let's start with this asset flip component. Now, in the first tweet, calling it creatively bankrupt, that's totally fine to say that. Like I said, there are a lot of designs that are very clearly borrowed from Pokemon, but overall, the product is not creatively bankrupt. I haven't seen a Pokemon with guns style game that has survival elements that are blended together pretty well with a really large world with quite a lot to do in it. Granted, a lot of times, a lot of the biomes of the world are super barren and empty, but overall, I'd say that I haven't really seen any other games like Palworld, so I definitely wouldn't call it creatively bankrupt, but maybe he's playing some real heaters behind the scenes that aren't released yet. But anyway, calling it an asset flip, I think is some absolute smooth brain nonsense. Either you don't know what an asset flip game is, or you're just baiting engagement through being incendiary for the sake of some numbers on your tweets. There's just no way anyone genuinely thinks that about this game. I am a connoisseur of asset flips. If you watch my streams, you know I do something called Bad Game Night, where I'll go through Steam's new releases and play games that nobody has ever heard of, looking for the stinkiest, most foul abominations game engines are capable of pumping out, and most of those games are legitimate asset flips. What it means is the game is composed entirely of store-bought assets, and everything is just jumbled together into an absolute mess that kind of works. Usually what it is some kind of open-world zombie horde shooter. That's your most notable culprit, your most common offender of being an asset flip. It just takes things from the Unreal Engine store, it takes the guns, the character, sets you in there, and you just randomly shoot zombies and other assets that charge at you, and that's the whole game. That's a fucking asset flip, and there's varying degrees of it, but that's your most egregious example. Palworld should not even be in the same sentence as asset flip. Does it use assets? Absolutely. You know what else does? Everything else. Every other game in existence uses assets to different degrees. Palworld is no exception there. There is clearly assets there, but it's not the bulk of the game. It's not entirely composed of it or anything like that. They're used in their product the same way they are in every other major release. It's not a fucking asset flip. And if we're going to play ball with this idea, you know what would absolutely qualify as an asset flip to people that believe this for Palworld? Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker is another game that I absolutely love, and this was a video game industry darling for a little while, and Dark and Darker is almost entirely composed of Unreal Engine assets that they bought and put into their game. They openly state that much of the 3D graphics assets were purchased from the Unreal Marketplace, and there are tons of links to them in the store that they used in their game. It's a ton of assets they used in it. Significantly more than Palworld. Why did I not hear a whole bunch of hoopla about Dark and Darker being an asset flip? It's weird. It seems really selective to just choose Palworld for this. It doesn't make any sense. You clearly haven't played the game and were grasping at straws for something to shit on it for because it's popular, is how it seems. Because it is just, by no definitions, an asset flip. But now let's get into some of the other ones that have been very controversial. A big one is the claim that a lot of it was AI generative. Now, this is a real problem that I think the video game industry is going to be facing very soon, with AI being integrated into games in a way that's going to be extremely scary going forward, take a lot of jobs, and produce a lot of slop. I think that is absolutely right around the corner. But right now, there is no proof at all that AI was used in any way in Palworld. Right now, all that evidence is based off the developer, as well as a couple of statements I believe the CEO made in a previous project. There's a PC Gamer article going over this as well that talks about how this AI claim is right now just based off of hunches. There's a ton of people playing Super Sleuth right now and investigating whether or not AI was used, and at the moment there's no substantiated evidence to back up any claims that AI was used in this project at all. Now, if it does come out that AI was used in this game, that will certainly change my impression of it. I am not looking forward to the future where AI is replacing real human ingenuity in entertainment. I am very much dreading that. It's extremely concerning to imagine that future where all of your entertainment is just part of an algorithm that the AI knows that you're going to enjoy and clap and spit up at. So if it does come out that Palworld used AI in a big capacity during its development, obviously that's going to change how I feel about the game, 100%. But right now, again, there is no proof of AI being used here, and yet some people are singing it like it's the gospel and 100% confirmed and true, based off nothing. Which is basically Twitter in a nutshell, to be honest. Now let's get to one that I actually found to be the most interesting at the time. There was a Twitter thread that came out talking about how the models are exactly the same in Palworld to some of the Pokemon counterparts, basically insinuating that they kind of just took the models and tweaked them slightly but kept everything else intact. That they copied the models and made exact replicas, which would be a big deal. If they took that and copied it for their game, that would probably open them up to a huge lawsuit from Nintendo, because that is literally just stealing their work. But then this morning it turns out that the person that was posting all the threads going over like how the models are the exact same meshes and everything was a bunch of hooey. it was a load of dirty barnacles. It turns out they were actually doing like some dubious scaling in order to make them fit, so it wasn't exact meshes or copies or anything like that. And they even openly admitted that they feel regretful for calling it exact and this and that. And then they posted a pin tweet saying this: I am doing this because I think it's disgusting how much Palworld glorifies animal abuse. What in tarnation? What the hell is even that? That is a load of poop with some fart on it. You're doing this because Palworld glorifies animal abuse. It's a video game. Someone also pointed out that Pokemon is literally sanitized cockfighting, which it is. I mean, you're making the animals fight each other, and they respond saying, I think that's bad too. So then where is this energy for Pokemon? Like, it doesn't compute. I can't tell if they're just trolling or not, but they have so many threads about how Palworld copied the exact meshes and, you know, insinuating that there's so much foul play there that it feels weird if it'd be satirical, because you went through so much effort to, like, take down Palworld with these claims, or like, attempt to. It's so odd. It's a video game. It's not real. There's no animal abuse, and it's not promoting it. No kid's gonna play Palworld and go out, find some kind of exotic animal, and make it work in the mines. Like, that's not gonna happen. It's what is happening? What's going on here? So anyway, the claims about the meshes being exact aren't true. However, I wanted to do more digging, because even if you just look at it with the old eyeball test, the meshes of the models in Palworld are super, super similar to the Pokemon ones. The shapes are the same, a lot of the placement of certain appendages and stuff is in the same location. So I did a little sleuthing of my own here, did a little digging around, and I found a YouTuber named GoGo, who is a technical animator, and gave their perspective on this, and talked about why the similarities in the meshes matters. Now, there are differences between them, obviously, like the topology of it is very different from Palworld to Pokemon, but the general shape remains mostly the same, and some of the locations of certain appendages on other models is similar to the Pokemon one, or in the same location. And GoGo explains how this helps with animation. If you're looking to take an animation and bring it over to something else, because the shape stays the same, it makes it simpler and quicker. Now, I want to be clear, GoGo's not pointing the finger here, trying to accuse Palworld of doing anything wrong, and in fact even mentions that Nintendo could easily sue, and they'd already have all of the evidence. They probably would have already sued if this was the case. If Palworld developers were just taking their models and porting the animations over or something, Nintendo would have likely already taken action, because the evidence is just right there at your fingertips. It's pretty quick to access. So GoGo's just giving their perspective as an industry veteran here, that these shapes do matter, and since they're so similar, it does open the door to speculation on whether or not the Palworld developers copy and pasted things like the animation or something of that effect. It just leads to speculation on whether or not they're being truthful about creating from scratch. Again, GoGo isn't making any accusations against them, just stating that the shapes are important, even if it's not like exact one-to-one meshes. Just having the shapes be in like the exact same order and same placement is still a big deal in the profession, according to GoGo. Of course, I'm not in the industry, so I don't know, but still pretty interesting nonetheless. And another thing GoGo mentions that I want to mention is that a lot of people have brought up the fact that a lot of Pokemon are based on real-world animals, and thus a lot of the pals in Palworld are based on animals. There's only so many ways of conveying a snake, or a lamb, or a stingray. Like, the shapes there are going to be pretty closely resembling each other, I imagine, because at its core, it's still this real-life animal that we know. So, like, a snake is going to look cylindrical and long across, right? So that could be an explanation for it, but since it is still so close, it does just have that level of speculation to it. Though I do think that argument could also work for shooters as well. So, like, there's only so many ways of conveying a certain gun, right? So I bet if you broke down the mesh and model of a lot of guns, comparing Call of Duty guns to Battlefield guns to any other FPS guns, you'd probably find the meshes look pretty similar there too, and I don't think that indicates that they're just copy and pasting the same shit. But again, I'm not knowledgeable enough on this area to really speak on it with any real authority. I'm just giving my perspective on it. I do agree that there's only so many ways of conveying, like, a snake and shit, but it's really odd how there are very similar elements shared in the mesh to Pokemon counterparts that aren't normally there on a snake. But anyway, there's still no concrete proof that Palworld developers took these meshes and are just copy and pasting this shit behind the scenes. So these were all the main controversial talking points used to shit on Palworld and say that we shouldn't be encouraging it, this game doesn't deserve its success, this and that. And I understand, like, some people being put off by it being too derivative, that's understandable. But a lot of the other things, like AI, there's no proof of it even being used in Palworld, and yet it's being used to this gotcha for why Palworld's the ultimate evil. Shit like that, I just think is reaching for controversy or calling it like an asset flip. There's plenty of things to not like about the game. As I said, it's so far from perfect, but it's still super fun and significantly better than anything Game Freak has put out in a long, long time. So I personally am not super bothered by some of the designs being extremely derivative. I hope they don't go that direction in the future. It seems like they're actually going to be updating this game. They just released a roadmap already, and it's been less than a week, so they're already looking to keep updating the game and improving it. So I'm excited to see where it'll be by the end of the year if they keep up that energy, because I do think there's so much potential here, and it is showing that there is a lot of potential, a lot of juice left here in the Pokemon idea, the concept of creature catching, monster taming. So I've been really enjoying it. If there is big revelations about AI being used, or if it turns out that they have been copy and pasting Pokemon shit behind the scenes, obviously that would change my perception of it quite a bit. But as of right now, there's still no proof of any of that. But yeah, anyway, that's my full thoughts on the whole Palworld drama. That's about it. See ya.